Hi everybody, it's Dan and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a Sailor Chibi Moon inspired chocolate cake from Sailor Moon. This simple, delicious, nerdy chocolate cake is going to be inspired by the small lady herself, Chibi, aka Sailor Chibi Moon. All you need is your favorite chocolate cake, some frosting, and simple fondant decorations. Of course, being the daughter of Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, you'll want to add her iconic rabbit-eared Odango shields to really bring this inspired chocolate cake to life and capture all things Sailor Chibi Moon. I'll be sure to throw a link to the full recipe down below in the description, where I'll show all my tips and tricks so you can make your own Sailor Moon inspired chocolate cake. Plus, if you're new in my kitchen and you love all things Sailor Moon and all things chocolate cake, definitely be sure to subscribe down below and turn notifications so you don't miss out every time I post a new video. Now let's go ahead, preheat your oven to 350 degrees and get started on this awesome chocolate cake. So to start your chocolate cake, we're going to whisk together all of our dry ingredients. So grab yourself a mixing bowl and add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a half cup of cocoa powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and 2 2/3 cups of white granulated sugar. Then we'll just go in with our whisk and make sure all those dry ingredients are nice and combined and fully incorporated together. Then we're going to set those aside, grab another mixing bowl, and this is going to be for our wet ingredients that we're going to mix together. So let's start by adding in a half cup of sour cream, 1 cup of buttermilk, 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of warm, fresh brewed coffee, 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now we're going to mix those together either with your whisk or with a hand mixer on a nice low speed until all those wet ingredients are fully incorporated together. And once those are nice and mixed, we're going to bring our dry ingredients back to this chocolate cake party and pour our wet ingredients right into that bowl of our dry ingredients and mix together with a hand mixer on a low speed or whisk until you have a nice, smooth, chocolatey cake batter. And though we're looking for that smooth cake batter, try not to overmix. It's definitely okay if there's some lumps in there of flour and dry ingredients. Just try not to overmix. Then we're just gonna add that cake batter into our prepared cake pans, and I'm using 2 6-inch round cake pans. Once those cake pans are full of batter, just place in the oven at 350 degrees and let bake for a good 35 to 40 minutes or until your cake tester comes out clean. So our cakes have baked, they've cooled, I've leveled and halved. Now it's time to fill with some delicious fluffy vanilla buttercream. After your cakes have cooled, it's going to be time to level and tour if needed, so we can begin to fill and cover with some delicious vanilla buttercream. Take your first layer onto your cake turntable, spread a generous amount of vanilla buttercream frosting on top, and spread evenly either with your straight or offset spatula. Then you're going to go ahead and place your next layer of cake, top with more buttercream frosting, and spread evenly. Then you'll just continue those steps for all of your layers. And once you get to that last layer of cake, you want to invert it so the bottom of the cake is facing up and you have a nice flat surface for the top of your cake. Once your cakes have been filled and stacked, it's going to be time to grab some more vanilla buttercream and begin to work on our crumb coat. If you've stacked and filled all your cake layers, your cake should look something just like mine here. You'll notice there's a fair amount of frosting hanging over the sides. I use this frosting to spread around the outside and top of my cake to create the crumb coat. The crumb coat is a thin layer of frosting on the outside of a cake that holds in the crumbs so they won't mix into your final layer of frosting. You can always add frosting to the cake for the crumb coat, but I find that having the frosting in the filling layers already spread out to the edges actually helps eliminate any potential air bubbles, which can get caught in the frosting and work their way out, giving your cake a very unlovely, kind of pimply look. So what I like to do here is I start from the bottom, and while rotating my cake turntable, I like to pipe on my buttercream in an upward motion. Using a cake frosting scraper, or a straight spatula, or an offset spatula, we're going to begin to smooth over our buttercream. I find that the best way is to hold my smoothing tool upright and gently pressed against my cake while rotating the cake turntable, really letting that turntable do all the work here. You'll want to continue this until you have a nice smooth buttercream coating. Now as you're doing that final smoothing, you might notice the texture of the buttercream become a bit ragged. Don't worry, take a deep breath. There's a quick and easy fix. Just grab a bowl of hot water, dip your tools into the bowl to warm them up, pat them dry, and smooth. The warm metal is going to make that buttercream nice and soft and give you a nice smooth finish. Once you're happy with the sides of your cake, you want to go ahead and take your spatula and smooth the top of your cake. Once we're happy with our cake and we have that nice smooth finish, it's going to be time to dive into our fondant decorations. Nothing too crazy, we're going to keep it nice and simple for the Sailor Chibi Moon cake. To kick off our cake decorating, lightly brush the back of your bottom fondant border with water. Gently pick up your pink fondant, and with the brush water side facing the cake, gently wrap the bottom of your cake and bring both ends together in the back. And just cut off any excess and secure the bottom fondant border together. Take your small pink fondant strip and lightly brush with water on the back and place on the top front of your cake where you plan on placing your pink heart brooch and your bow. Okay, so far so good. Now let's continue with some more pink fondant and work on the top border of our cake. Once you're happy with that placement, lightly brush the back of your top fondant border with water, gently pick up, and with the brushed water side facing the cake, gently wrap the top of your cake from the back to the front so that the points of both ends meet in the middle. This should leave you with almost an inverted triangle-like peekaboo shape while securing your pink fondant strip in place. With the start of our pink fondant decorations looking really nice and kind of cute on our chocolate cake, we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue to move forward. So now we're going to take a tiny pink fondant heart and place this right on top and in front of our cake. Take your small pink fondant heart, ever so lightly brush with water on the back, and gently press in the middle of your pink fondant strip. The heart should line up with the middle of your strip. Now, as much as I love working with pink fondant, it's not going to be all pink, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll out some red fondant on a lightly dusted surface with some powdered sugar, maybe a silicone mat, and you want to roll that fondant out to about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch thickness so we can begin to work on our bow. Now I'm going to link to a bow template down below. It's the simplest, easy way to make a fondant bow. If you want to go more fancier with your bow, definitely do it. Tag me on Instagram so I can see how you did, because I've yet to master it. That's why I like to keep things simple and very easy. So again, bow template down below in the description with the recipe link. Check it out. To start our fondant bow, we're going to take our red fondant that is rolled out to about 1 inch thickness and cut out 4 bow pieces using my template that is going to be linked down below with the recipe. You'll need 2 back pieces and 2 front pieces. I find this very easy, very simple, especially when it comes to fondant and bows. Once you tear away that excess red fondant, you should be left with just 4 simple bow pieces. All you gotta do now is just place these on the cake. Now to begin to assemble the bow on our cake, we're gonna start by lightly brushing water on the back of both back bow pieces. Gently pick up and lightly press into your cake so that the points are lined up in the middle and centered with your small pink fondant heart up top. Once you're happy with the placement of those 2 pieces, Lightly brush water on the back of both front pieces and gently press on top and slightly above your two back fondant pieces. Again, use the points on the front pieces to center and line up your red fondant bow. After you place your bow on your cake and you're happy with the placement, everything's looking centered, everything's looking cute, you want to go ahead, scoot your cake gently to the side and roll out some yellow fondant on that same lightly dusted, maybe silicone mat so there's no stickiness. And we're going to begin to work on our brooch. It's going to sit right in the middle of our red fondant bow. With our yellow fondant that I rolled out to about a 1/2 inch thickness, we're going to use a 2-inch round cookie cutter and punch out a yellow fondant circle. With our pink fondant that's been rolled out to about another 1/2 inch thickness, we're going to use a heart-shaped cookie cutter and cut out a pink fondant heart. Now let's take our yellow fondant circle, lightly brushed with water, and place our pink fondant heart on top and centered of our yellow fondant circle. Once you have your brooch pieces cut out, assembled, put together, it's going to be time to place right onto our cake in the center and in the middle of our bow. Center, middle, right there. Lastly, to wrap up our bow, we're going to place our pink fondant heart brooch right on top and in the middle of our bow. And just like that, in a couple of quick, easy steps, we are all done with our fondant decorations. Nice and simple, nothing too complicated. Now it's time to put on our finishing touches so we can enjoy a slice of our Sailor Chibi Moon cake. Taking white buttercream in a piping bag fitted with a small round tip, pipe on a white stripe along the top pink fondant border. The easiest way you can do this is to hold your piping bag in place against that pink fondant and rotate your cake turntable as you're squeezing your piping bag to pipe on that white racing stripe. Once that white racing stripe is on our cake, we want to swap out our white buttercream with some delicious pink buttercream frosting for the top of our cake. For the top of our cake, we're going to grab some pink buttercream in a piping bag fitted with a large star tip and pipe dollops of pink buttercream around the outside edge on top of our cake. Now that we've wrapped up the top of our cake with our pink buttercream frosting, it's going to be time to do the most iconic detail on our Sailor Chibi Moon cake, and that's going to be her rabbit ear shaped Ondongo buns. Now what I did here is I made kind of a small batch of vanilla Madelines. If you're interested on how to make those, again, tips and tricks, everything you need, all those will be included in the recipe link down below in the description. But quick shortcut, you can also buy them. Starbucks has 3 packs, you only need 2. You can have one as a snack while you're cake decorating. It's a win-win. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's decorate these Ondongo shield buns made from Madelines. They're going to be so cute. Once you have your Madelines, either homemade or store-bought, take the red buttercream and pipe a large red circle about a 1/4 inch from the bottom on each Madeline. With some white buttercream, we're going to pipe an outline on the outside of each red buttercream circle. We're going to frost the top of both Madelines with pink buttercream frosting. To capture Sailor Chibi Moon's rabbit ear shaped Ondongo buns, I wanted to whip up a quick batch of Madelines. Now granted, you can always use store-bought, but if you'd like to make your own, I'll make sure the recipe and all the tips and tricks I use to make my own Madelines will be included in the recipe link down below. So be sure to check that out. Next, from the top of your white buttercream outline, pipe 2 parallel lines curved out and upward. Once your Madelines are decorated with the buttercream frosting and each have their own little lollipop stick, we want to go ahead and we want to add these to the top of our cake. Lastly, we're going to gently press our Madeline lollipops into the top of our cake with enough space in between so there's not too much crowding, depending on the size of your Madelines. I placed mine about 1 inch from the top perimeter of the cake. Once you add on your Madeline lollipops, that's it. You're done. You've officially made your own Sailor Chibi Moon inspired chocolate cake, complete with 4 layers of moist, delicious chocolate cake, fluffy vanilla buttercream, those simple fondant decorations, some vibrant, bright pink dollops of buttercream, and of course our Madeline lollipops right on top. If you're a fan of all things Sailor Chibi Moon, this is definitely a cake you're gonna wanna make. It's so cute, it's delicious. I can't wait to eat it. Well, thank you all for stopping by. I had so much fun showing you how to make your own Sailor Chibi Moon inspired cake. To really get excited and in the mood for the new Sailor Moon movie that's coming out on Netflix, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I have the whole day planned around it. But if you're a fan of Sailor Moon, Sailor Chibi Moon, chocolate cake, all things nerdy and delicious, definitely be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out, lets me know I'm baking up recipes you all like, you enjoy, and you want to see more of. And if you didn't like this video, that's definitely okay also. All I ask is that you leave me a comment down below and let me know so I can use that to improve my content and my channel and continue to really bring some delicious, simple, awesome recipes that everybody can bake at home with confidence. And if you want even more delicious, simple recipes, sometimes nerdy, a lot of times nerdy, but always very easy, always very simple, always very practical, definitely be sure to subscribe down below and turn notifications so you don't miss out every time I post a new video. And if you make your own Sailor Chibi Moon inspired cake, definitely give me a tag on Instagram. You know, let me see what you're baking up in your kitchen. Alrighty, well I'm gonna grab a slice of this delicious chocolate cake after I cool off because it's like 85 degrees and I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt and I am so sweaty right now and I feel gross. So I'm gonna go, enjoy my cake, enjoy the day, enjoy the weather. I hope you all get to do the same. And as always, I will see you all in the next video very, very soon. Bye.